Hey, I'm RockyMullet. I make 2D games in Unreal Engine. It's now been 2 years since I started talking about my games on YouTube. Once again, this year was busy with gamedev. Here's a recap of all the projects I've taken part in the last 12 months. Unreal style maps are not great. When I remade Xanderwood's game Hookshot Hero, I had to create destructible blocks, tinkering with how the tile maps work under the hood. It made me want to pull up my sleeves and finally make my own auto-tiler for Unreal. I was strongly influenced by how it works in Godot and Unity. I made the equivalent of Unity's auto-tile rules, where I'm able to have all the tiles as a button to edit their rules, setting the conditions to use that specific tile that can be adjacent to multiple types of tiles to actually allow in-between tiles, which I didn't see in other engines' tool. Then another editor to draw the tile map with a pen, a bucket, and a rectangle tool, auto-resizing the tile map on the edges. I made a video about it, mostly meant as a devlog, and was surprised by the viewers' reaction. People were very enthusiastic and curious about using the tool themselves, which I didn't anticipate at all. I weighed the pros and cons of selling it on Unreal Marketplace, but ultimately decided not to. It was good enough for me who'll overlook its clunkiness and rough edges, but it would take too much time to bring it to a sellable state, time that I'd rather spend making games. One goal I had for a while was to make a hybrid game between an action game and a management/citybuilder game, strongly inspired by the first ActRaiser game on the SNES. So far I have a lot of experience making action games, but no experience at all making city builders. So to learn how to design this missing piece in my learning puzzle, I've had this project lingering on my to-do list for a while now. With my auto-tiler in hand, it felt like the perfect time to finally do it. I've went for a desert-themed city builder with procedurally generated terrain, with buildings generating money, food, and water. Civilians that build and work the buildings and require food and water to survive. Civilians can also mine resources to be used to research and unlock new technologies. The game periodically sends sandstorms at the player, which is meant to be the main hook of the game. The sandstorm makes the sand move to limit the playable space, and the players can fight it back by building walls and have civilians dig away the sand. The game is still in progress. I'm currently working on a win condition to have a vertical slice of the game, so I can switch my focus on UX and onboarding, to finally ask people to play the game and give me feedback.
What?
For a second year, I've been lucky enough to be a judge for the Fireside Jam. It's a game jam organized by the gamedev Fireside community, created by Helper Wesley, that I'm happy to be part of. 480 people joined the jam, and 106 games were submitted. There's some great game devs out there making great games. It was fun to play all those games, and I hope I can still judge next spring. And if you're into game jams, come join the fun. It's my second year making YouTube videos about my games. Last year, I decided to make my first recap video about all the game jam games I've been doing since the beginning of all this. And you guys showed up! My YouTube channel almost quadrupled in subscribers from that video alone. This really boosted my motivation to keep creating videos for you guys. Actually, the only game jam I've been part of this year. Since my game Rose Huskers that I made for last year's Bracky's Game Jam, I focused on other projects like remaking Xanderwood's game Hookshot Hero, and of course, my city builder. I used to be part of in-person game jams with a team, so it was a good opportunity to team up like the good old days. My teammates were Simon Kress on music and audio and Goblin Knuckles on art, while I was doing the programming, level design, and slapping it all together in Unreal. It was a cool change of pace, having great art and great audio to make a super cute game about squirrel waiters delivering food to animal patrons, the player moving ropes around to guide the waiters. And we ended up winning the jam, first place overall and in the graphic and X-Factor category.
The game design's well thought out, the actual gameplay is super enjoyable, the art itself is super cute and adorable, the actual implementation, I think you guys killed it.
It was all around a great year. I learned a lot on how to deconstruct a bigger project in smaller parts, giving myself small goals and milestones. I plan to keep doing it to bring my city builder to completion. And of course many other game dev projects that I hope you'll stay around to witness. See you next year!